Hello everybody, it is Friday the 9th of January and I'm making this video as a response to comments I'm getting, and yes, this time I am talking to you, just to make this clear. I really think I should maybe again explain what it is I'm trying to do here and what truth it is I'm trying to expose, and how I think that truth will change this world. The truth will set you free. The truth will create a free world. I believe that. Because we are laboring in the wrong system. Now, to be fair, if I go talking about us as energy beings, about manifestation, about transmutation, I might be getting ahead of myself. I mean, that should be the outcome. I believe that is our truth, that is who we are, that is what we're capable of. But again, I said I might be getting ahead of myself, because you need to take one step at a time to the outcome. We cannot jump to the outcome. Again, as I said before, it is a bit like math. You need to have the foundation to do the higher equations. So to build a foundation, a truth that is built on truth. Now, I'm being accused about what situation I am now. My financial situation, that I haven't put money by, and so now I'm in the shed. Okay, let's talk about that. We never had much money, and that is because we made conscious choices. We followed our love. My husband's love for horses, so we worked on stud farms for a great deal of our time, our marriage life, and I was a stay-at-home mum. I cared for my children. I did not go out to work to scrape together wealth. Yeah? What I was giving to my children was my knowledge, my love, and my caring for them. And throughout our lives, that always meant we had less than others. We always did. But that was a conscious choice. We accepted that we would have less than others because of that. But the situation we are in now is not of our making. Yeah? We worked hard all our lives in whatever we were doing, my husband or me. We contributed as we should have done. Everybody should contribute, and everybody should receive. And we are still working hard. We're still working our ass off. In fact, I'm taking on a second job next week, which probably means that I will make less videos, because I don't know where the 5 minutes will come from then. Still, the situation right now is created because the few in government are taking our money. Our work does no longer pay us. Yeah? And they are spending the money instead on spending it for the good of the people that they should be in service of, and that the money should be in service of. That's not their money. That money does not belong to them. It belongs to the people. They are only the caretakers. And now let's see what the caretakers are doing with the money. First of all, they create lies by which they can take more money off us, like, okay, well, I shouldn't probably say the word because of the algorithms, but the change in the weather. Let's say it like that. Which is real. I believe it to be real. There is a natural process going on at the moment, yeah, that we should be going with and we should be preparing for. There should be great changes made in agriculture. The agriculture needs to change. It needs to go with the weather, yeah, and money should be spent in facilitating and helping that transition. So what are they doing? They say the weather is changing and they're doing away with agriculture altogether, blaming agriculture. That's what they're doing. And they're spending billions, I would say, on perpetuating that lie, on making, I don't know, leaflets, propaganda videos. That's what they're spending money on perpetuating their own lie to justify what it is they're doing, which is lunacy. So that is how they're spending our money. The money that they take away from us, they're spending on perpetuating a lie. And of course the rest of the money is going on to wars. So they're taking our money, putting us into misery, where our work does no longer pay, does no longer sustain us as it should. They're spending it on war. So they're putting us into more misery so that they can completely destroy others, other human beings, putting them into even more misery than we are in. Yeah, that is why we, my husband and I and others like us, are now increasingly in the shit. Not because we're not working hard, not because we're not contributing, because of the greed and the lunacy of the few that think their money is theirs for some God-given right. And here comes. That's what I want to get to. The God-given right of the few to rule over. Because right now there should be a bloody revolution. There should be an uprising. There should be outcries about the shit that is happening here. And it happens in a few places, but for the most, people are still keeping their head down. Yeah? And somehow wish that it will go away. Well, it won't. It's getting worse. We're going deeper and deeper into the darkness. Yeah? Again, people have been told. That is one thing that's been drilled into their head. It's one of those idiotic teachings. Go deeper into the darkness. You will see the light in the end. The only light that you will see is that you're in the shed. And that it's getting darker. That is the truth. That is the enlightened moment where you realize that. But it is these teachings. And let me just say before the teachings, you see, I was told about generational wealth. Yeah? I'm not actually sure that it is a good thing, to hand too much to your children, because in the end they will have to, one day you're not going to be there anymore. The wealth you should give them is the ability to do it for themselves. That's the real wealth you should give them, which I've been trying to instill into my children, and my children do work. They have the same ethics. And the same shit as I am in, because they're not getting paid for their work either. But if you look at the generational wealth of the big ones, and look where that came from. If it's really old money, old money, that came from oppression, putting others into servitude. The feudal system, if it's really old money, it came from there. It came from slavery. A lot of money was made in those families from slavery. And for the new money, it is basically made by trampling over others as much as you can, completely disregarding the rights of others. It is another form of oppression, the likes of Amazon and stuff like that. That's another form of slavery. They are not getting to the top because they are so wonderfully great and so clever. They enslave others. I mean, an Amazon driver is basically a slave. So don't think that anything has changed or we're in a great new world. We're not. The beast just changes its form, but it always remains the same. Now, let's come to the programming. As I said, go deeper into the darkness. It's one of the little one-liners for the sheep. Yeah? Make that your reality and act on it. And people do. They're programmed. And the biggest false program in this world is the rulership of the one creator God and his angelic host. There you have the pyramid. And those that serve the Lord the most are the highest up, and they will sit at the Lord's table. Those that do his works. And to have this structure in the mind of the people and drilled into them by religion, so that they think that that is the natural order of things. Yeah? There is one creator God, and this pyramid system is the natural order of things. And by being a slave at the bottom, that cannot do anything for himself, that has, that is your natural place in the natural order. And there's nothing you can do about it, and it is basically still a caste system. You're born into that, and it's God's will. Then another little one-liner. It is the will of God. Whatever is happening to you is the will of God. Is the will of the great creator God. And you must sit there and be quiet. Yeah? Because your reward will be in heaven or something like that. That is a system that has been drilled into the mind of the people as a reality, and it creates a reality. Yeah, people say, I'm waiting for the kingdom of God, the biblical God, to come to earth. It's here. It's all around you. You're in it. You're living in it. This is the world of the Christian God. The ruler with his angelic host. Yeah? The corporations with their CEOs that will do, suppressing any human knowledge for themselves, do what they're told to do. Doesn't matter how much misery it causes for others. They will follow orders. This is the world of the biblical Christian God. You're in it. His kingdom is here. It's all around you, and for most people, it is within them. That is how they see themselves. And that's why there is no uprising right now. Because people accept this as universal truth, as the will of God. So the first step we have to take, before again all the other things where we find ourselves, the real truth of ourselves, which we hopefully will, the system has to change. There needs to be a system in which we see ourselves differently, where people see themselves differently, where they see their rights differently. This is the beast system that we're in. The system of the false creator God is what we're in. And it's getting worse. Now again, the knowledge that was there before, the Hermetic knowledge, the knowledge of any nature religion that was in this world, they saw themselves completely different. They saw the web. They saw the web of life. They saw it within themselves, all around them. That truth was there. Everything is only a part of the whole. Everything gives everything receives what it needs. It's what Jesus said. The all gives to all. Gives to the birds in the sky and the lilies in the field. And they all contribute to the whole. Although Jesus said they don't reap and they don't sow, actually they do. They're not sitting on their arse. Through their entire existence, they're given to the entire system. That was the truth. There were no elevations. There is nobody ruling over everything. That is the natural underlying truth. That we have been taken away from through the lie of the false creator God. And that is the truth that we must return to. A natural world. A natural order. What they are doing is not a natural order. It is an artificial construct. Not based on the underlying reality. And when I say false creator God, that means being. Beings that have elevated themselves to say we are the creators of all. That is the mindset of Yaldabaoth. Again, Yaldabaoth is not one being in the astral zone. It is something that is within you. It's a mindset. And that mindset is in many. It is a spirit that creates once it enters into a person and he sees himself, well, I'm the creator of all. And then he creates his archons that actually believe that he is the creator of all. And then the pyramid will form. That is the falsehood that creates the false system. And those that believe on that system will acquiesce because they think it is the natural order, it is the will of God. And that is the lie. There is not one being that is the creator of all. And the all, again, people make this jump now to that they replace the word God with the word creator, or Hermetics, the word all. Yeah? And then they're still talking about a being. The all is not a being. In creation, the all is all beings. Again, here you have it. There's the truth. It is all beings. And it is not one being more than another. Yeah, it's not we're all equal, but some are more equal. Again, there's a line for the sheep. Animal farm. Or we're all equal, but only some are more equal than others. That is not the truth. But that is a truth that is drilled into you by a religion that has created a mindset, that has created a belief. That belief must go. The all is all beings in the created, and then they say it goes beyond the created. You say it's energy, it goes even beyond energy, and at that point you can stop thinking about it, because you cannot know it anyway. So you must concentrate on the created, on that which you can know. And we are in the beast system that is not according to the underlying truth. And that is what first has to change. The idea of what we are and what we're in. Because we're living in a lie. And that lie is destroying us. But unless this idea doesn't get out of the head of the sheep, we will live in this world forever. As I said, it will take on new forms. It always does. It might take on the form of a technocracy next. It's just the same lie in a different form. The all is all. It is in all. No singular part is the all. The all is not a being. The all is all beings. all. And no, they're not some more equal than others. The all does not judge. Again, Jesus said that. Father gives to all, and in him there is no judgment. The all does not judge. There is no creator or God up there that you can serve, or that is favoring some over others. It doesn't exist. That is the lie that is creating the beast system. The only way we should judge each other by is how much we give, how well we can function within the entire system, and we should receive according to that. Everybody should receive. And if you go by that judgment, we're all part of the same system. Then look at our esteemed rulers. How much do they give to all? How much does their works benefit humanity? And then you see their truth. The top of the pyramid is fucking rotten. It is greedy and it is insane. And they shouldn't be there. And this is not the will of some creator God. The underlying truth is not this. We must get rid of the lie. And that would get rid of them. As I said, that system, the correct system, has to be built. And I think humanity would go on to greater things from there. But we're on the wrong foundation for that to even happen. So I might get ahead of myself when I talk about these things, about manifestation and transmutation. Because right now there's no foundation in this world from which this thing could fly. Because we're living in a lie. Anyway, here, I leave it at that for today. And I talk to you again soon. Bye.